G'day, I'm Murray, this is my backyard, and I've had a bit of a mongrel of a day. I was getting frustrated at work and I really wanted a bit of a win. But first let's back up a bit and I'll tell you about the Russian nesting dolls I'm working on at the moment. This is the side yard. There's 3 beds about 25-26 meters long. They have been neglected for a while. I wanted to get them sorted out for the start of spring. I'm going to remove some of the sugarcane plants, tidy everything up, fertilise, remulch. There's drip lines on each of them. They get watered regularly. But previously I built a garden bed, a banana bed, self-mulching, as in you put your mulch on the side of the bed, and that's pretty much full. What I thought I'd do is put a new bed in and do the same sort of thing, and then I thought I could use the mulch I get from the side yard and put that in the back of this bed to start to fill it up and let it rot down. And I've already started on the project, obviously, and I thought about 3:30 this afternoon, I've had it. I'm going to go outside, I'm going to do some work, I'm going to accomplish something physical. I'm going to be able to look at it and say, I did that today. I'm going to stand up a couple of the boards, maybe even in advance of where I'm up to. I'm going to go, I'm going to get some silt, I'm going to tip the manure into, I'm going to expand that bed. And then it occurred to me that I only had 2 of these cut. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get at least 3 of the pieces of wood up against those. Well, these get hammered into the ground and wired to the pieces of edging so that they can support it. And I thought, I'm going to need at least 3, maybe 4 of those, because I'm going to get so much work done today. So we got in the ute not long after 3:30 and I drove down to where we've got some stuff stacked against a tree. Grabbed a couple of star pickets that are old and bent and useless. Then I thought I'll have a quick check on the pomegranate trees. So I had a quick check on the pomegranate trees and I found one that's been damaged by a kangaroo or a wallaby, I'd say. It was pretty high up, that the branch had been broken off, and I thought, and it's a really good dwarf pomegranate and I want more of them. And it's early spring, it's the time for cuttings. So I thought, okay, I'll put that in the ute, I'll take that back. I'll go and sort it out in the nursery area. And right behind it was one of these mongrel spiky plants. And it had already started to drop seed. It's been a while since I've been down there. I've been busy. And I thought, I'm going to have to sort that out too. So in an endeavour to increase the size of this garden bed and work on this project up here, it's going to be right here, by the way, right where I'm sitting. I then had to go and get my cloning gel for hardwood cuttings and go and sort out the pieces of the dwarf pomegranate tree. It didn't take that long, but it took time. I took more cuttings than perhaps I should have because it's a dwarf tree and we'll see how they go. And then I got in the ute and I drove back down and I chopped all the seeds off that spiky weed, whatever it's called. Chucked it in a tub, ripped the plant out, and a lot of seeds fell out of those already ripe pods. Came back up, put the things away, the plant material in the boot, scissors back in the nursery, that sort of stuff. Got everything sorted out. Then I got the grinder out, I cut some pieces of steel from the star pickets that I had brought up earlier, and I ended up with 6 of variable length because it depends where the bend is and whether they're twisted and that sort of stuff. So, I cut those. Then I thought, oh, it's getting a bit late. Maybe I should water, because I've been away recently and I've got to get back on a regular watering schedule. It's 2 days ago I did everything. Yesterday I just did a very small patch in here. And today I've watered this, and then tomorrow I'll have to do the rows and the nursery. And I'm going to have to switch to a 2-day watering cycle where I do this and then those on alternate days, which is going to eat up more of my evening, afternoon time. And then I thought, right, okay, shall I try and get some work done out here? And I was already losing light. And so while I was trying to accomplish something physical out here so that I could get this ready and I can prune out there and I can do all of these different things in a reasonable order, the Russian nesting dolls of garden work have got to me again. What I've managed to accomplish is cutting half a dozen of these. On the plus side, I have some cuttings of what seems to be an extremely drought-hardy dwarf pomegranate that may take. They look like they were knocked off, or the branch was knocked down within about the last 2 days. We'll see if they take. They're a fairly tough tree from an arid environment. I'm going to say 2 out of 3, even though the cuttings aren't that big and they're definitely not year-old or 2-year-old wood. I'll tell you later, but we'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic for the pomegranate cuttings. Anyway, this is the Russian nesting doll of gardening issues that I find I come across regularly. To get to the job you really want to do, you have to do all of these other jobs until you get to that one that you can do in the most efficient manner possible. I'm not having a gripe. It's how things work. But it can be a bit frustrating at times, especially when you've had an already frustrating day. Oh well, it'll all get sorted eventually. I'll get everything how I want it, up to a point, because there's always improvements in the back of your mind. So we'll see how it goes. And maybe tomorrow my day won't be as frustrating, and maybe tomorrow I'll get something that I can point to and say, at least I've got that done, rather than something not quite as impressive. Okay, catch you later. Have a good one.